Just that I'm keeping my location a little bit more indoors today. Um, there's a couple of reasons for this, but not the least of which is that the weather was calling for thunderstorms around 7 p.m., and I didn't want to be caught out in that. Again, um, the equipment is a consideration when I'm walking around. So, um, yeah, I'm at home, and it actually kind of fits with today's theme. I wanted to kind of get into a little bit of motivation. And there are effectively two types, and this kind of plays into technology as well. But it's a really interesting kind of thing to think about and kind of where you're at personally. So the two types of motivation, by and large, no, actually, there really are only two. Well, there's three. There's no motivation, right? Like seriously, no motivation. Intrinsic motivation and extrinsic motivation. And if that sounds nice and complex, it's big words to base. And you know what? The ultimate analogy: carrot, stick. Okay. Um, Intrinsic motivation. So people who are intrinsically motivated. Yeah. Uh, Let me kind of hop in on this. Okay. So intrinsic motivation. Intrinsic motivation are people who decide what they want, know what they want, go for a goal. I want that. And they go, and this is why we refer to it as the carrot. Now, the misnomer that rabbits are all about carrots and they love carrots and whatnot, it's actually not good for them. Well, it's not bad for them, but they can't eat only carrots. They need quite a bit more variety in their diet, but nonetheless. Um, if you're going for the carrot, you're moving towards something. You fixed on the carrot and you're going after the carrot. I want that. Now, whatever your carrot happens to be, whether it's the sports car, the house, the better job, and the people who are very much into the self-help movement and whatnot um, tend to be very intrinsic because they tend to go, okay, I need to fixate on this particular goal, and they go for it. And that's it. You're really you're focused and you go, and so there's your carrot. Extrinsic motivation. So intrinsic comes from inside, right? Go, pick your carrot, choose your goal, go towards it. Extrinsic motivation is stick. Um, your motivation is not forward driven; it is driven forward, and there is a difference. Um, People who are extrinsically motivated are about avoiding pain, conflict, or problems. I mean, yeah, we'd all like to avoid, pain and problems and whatnot, or conflict generally. But the intrinsic person doesn't care so much as long as it is beneficial towards the attainment of their goal. As you know, if the carrot requires me to overcome obstacles, then yes, I will do it. Extrinsically driven go about avoiding pain and conflict and whatnot. And that's not necessarily, this is not to pass a judgment. It's not to go, oh, you're intrinsically driven, so that's bad. It isn't. It's just you're not driven towards a particular point. You are driven away from the painful bits. So it's almost like chasing an animal with a stick. They don't have a lot of focus. They're just running away from the stick, right? So the idea of, wow, I can't wait to go to work because I love my job. And I actually do. Wow, I can't wait to go to work. I can't wait to do this. I love my job is a lot different from, oh my God, I've got to, I don't want to go, but I can't, I better go or I have to go because otherwise I'll get fired. There's a big difference there. So how does this apply to technology? Well, when you go to choose your technology, again, yesterday we talked about trade-offs, right? And trade-offs are important. And what's the value to it? right? So something that kind of adds on to yesterday. So this is kind of a side point and an illustration here. Um, when I look at new games on the Switch, I check every week. I check on what's on special. I have my wish list. There are certain games that I definitely want to own. And I look at the list, and then I actually have to start making choices. I look at it, and if a game goes on sale or whatnot, I'm not just about the price. The price is actually kind of a secondary notion. Actually, it's a far gone third notion. I have to look at it and go, what am I playing now? And the answer is usually Warframe, because I haven't been playing Warframe for quite a while, and I very much enjoy it. Um, is this do I have enough storage, or how much of my storage would this take, or is it worth putting this in the place of what I already have? That's actually consideration. I have limited space. Not that I can't add a different SD card and swap between them, but I don't want to. I'd rather manage my habits, right? And last but not least, time. Time is the most valuable resource we've got because, well, we don't get more of it. So when I consider this, is this worth my time? Am I willing to take time away, the time that I do get to entertain myself like that? I'm playing video games. Usually it's with other people. So do I get it? That time that I spend with other people, is this worth investing that time in another game? Is this another game that I can play with others? Is it something that, so that's a trade-off. You notice that I'm not getting it and then I'm trying to avoid something, or I'm running away from anything, or I'm making choices based on my values, and I'm taking this as an intrinsic thing. Is this worth the time putting in? So this is where this kind of motivation and the trade-offs come in. And um, one of the greatest skills you can possibly develop in your life is looking at, and don't get me wrong, I love to help my friends. Any of you who know me know you need me, I'm there for you, right? But when I look at contracts and when I talk to people for business, I really have to kind of look and say, is this something that goes towards my carrot? What's the trade-off? How much time does this take, and does it take me towards my carrot or away from it? Or does it get me any closer? And this is part of my process for deciding on new contracts. So this is where the trade-offs and motivations come together. I am intrinsically motivated. I know what I want. I choose what I want and I go for it and I commit, right? So that's what I do. Now, if you're extrinsically motivated, nothing wrong with that. Just be aware of it and see how that works for you. It's just a great kind of point of introspection. So, um, and that's really kind of how part of how the brain works. Oh, and I've got a couple of comments here. Ah, thank you. I'm glad you find it. I've got Sabrina who says that's interesting. It really is. It's actually um, it's a fantastic foundation for understanding people. And the more you can figure out if someone's intrinsically or extrinsically driven, it's a great way to kind of give them a goal, but you don't want to over incentivize. And incentives, giving somebody an incentive like that doesn't tend to work for extrinsic motivation. Those people are tend to work more when you go, here are the guidelines. Don't touch the fence. Run this direction. And you kind of set up you set up the routine for them. And as much as that sounds kind of it sounds manipulative, it isn't as much. You're just playing to their natural system to help them achieve, which is kind of cool. So yeah, um, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Those of you who will tune in later, because there wasn't that many of you on the actual live portion, I hope you guys will get a chance to watch this after and enjoy it. If you have any questions, comments, or anything here, I'm going to put up the email as always. But by all means, this is again part of the conversation, especially where it comes to trade-offs and motivation. And you know, I'm very much about the mindset. I'm very much about the balance of technology. So this is where this kind of trade-off and motivation come in. Does this help you? So when I work with people, I am going to ask you, what does this give you? Does this get you closer to your carrot or help you manage your route to, you know, where you want to go? And, you know, is this a good trade-off for you? So that's a big part of what I do. And there you go. That's the insider info. But I like talking about this stuff. This is what moves me. So it moves me. Um, so guys, thanks for tuning in. Can't wait to see you tomorrow live at 6:45. I will be in Vaudreuil tomorrow, so I'll probably be out in the lake once again, and it's a nice view, so I love that. And I will catch you guys later. Thanks so much for tuning in. Have yourselves a great weekend. If I don't see you.